Jeez, what the? He gives me the middle finger?
Learn to drive! That, my friends, is road rage.
English Tea.
From Speaking English with Class.
So, you know what happened to me the other day? I was at this intersection and the car behind me just started honking like crazy. And then, when the driver passed me, he rolled down his window and flipped me off. I was like, what did I even do wrong? Leo, have you ever had something like that happen?
Oh man, all the time. And let me guess, you were at a stop sign and you stopped for too long. This is like super common. I remember when I first started driving here, I would stop for like 5 or 6 seconds at every stop sign because I thought, safety first. But then the car behind me would just start laying on the horn.
Yes, exactly. But here's the thing. How long are you actually supposed to stop? And the worst part was I had no idea what to say in English. Like, should I yell, "Hey, you cut me off?" Or should I say, "Stop honking at me"? My brain just went blank. I just gripped the steering wheel and pretended nothing happened.
I totally get that feeling. So today, we're going to talk about this super practical topic. If you've ever driven in the US, or if you're planning to drive in an English-speaking country, you definitely don't want to miss this episode. Because we're not just teaching you driving vocabulary, we're going to tell you about American driving culture and all those unwritten rules. Oh, and by the way, if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because every week we bring you the most authentic American English expressions, the kind of stuff you actually use in real life, not textbook English. All right, so Mia, tell everyone what exactly happened that day.
Okay, so I was driving to the grocery store and I got to this intersection in a residential area, the kind with a stop sign. So I see the stop sign and I'm a good driver, right? So I hit the brakes and I stopped there. I looked left, looked right, made sure there were no cars. But I had only been stopped for like 2 or 3 seconds when I hear this super loud honking from behind. The horn was just going beep, 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 non-stop.
Oh no, that's the worst. Keep going.
Right, so I got startled and I just hit the gas and started moving. And then this car immediately passes me on the side. It was this white guy, probably in his 40s or 50s, and as he's passing me, he rolls down his window and gives me the middle finger, and he yells something at me. I only caught the words, "learn to drive." I was just shocked. I'm thinking, I did stop. I checked both ways. What did I do wrong?
Okay, so this is like a classic example of cultural differences. Because in the US, the rules about stop signs are actually different from what most people think. A lot of people, including me when I first got here, thought you had to stop for 3 seconds or 5 seconds at a stop sign. But actually, there's no rule about how many seconds you have to stop.
Wait, really? So what's the rule then?
The key thing is you have to do a complete stop. That's the important phrase, complete stop. It means your car has to come to a full stop. Your wheels can't be moving at all. Your speed has to go down to 0. Then you look left, look right, look left again, make sure there's no cars, no pedestrians, and then you can go. This whole process might only take 1 or 2 seconds. If the intersection is clear and there's obviously no traffic, you can stop for 1 second and go.
So me stopping for 2 or 3 seconds was actually kind of long.
Yeah, if that intersection was obviously empty and you stopped for 2 or 3 seconds, Americans are going to think you're too slow, because Americans drive with a lot of efficiency in mind. They're going to feel like you're wasting everyone's time. That's why the car behind you honked. But here's the thing. That driver's reaction was totally over the top.
What do you mean?
Because honking in the US is actually a pretty aggressive move. Americans don't just honk randomly. They only honk when it's actually dangerous, like if someone suddenly cuts into your lane or someone runs a red light. That's when you honk. So if someone's laying on the horn at you, it usually means they're really pissed off or they're just an impatient person.
What about him flipping me off? Is that super common in the US?
Flipping someone off or giving someone the middle finger, that's extremely rude in the US. It's basically the same as saying fuck you, so that driver was way out of line. But unfortunately, road rage is pretty common here.
Road rage? I think I've heard that before. What does it mean?
Road rage is when someone gets super angry while driving and does aggressive stuff, like honking nonstop, flipping people off. Some people even brake check you or try to run you off the road. There's actually a lot of accidents every year in the US because of road rage. So if you run into someone like that, the best thing to do is just don't engage.
Yeah, that's what I did that day. I just ignored him. But honestly, I was so annoyed. And I kept thinking, if my English was better, what should I have said? Like, could I have rolled down my window and said something back?
I mean, honestly, it's better not to get into it with people like that. But if you really want to know what you could say, we can do a little role play later. But before that, let's go over some core driving vocabulary in English, because this stuff is super practical, and you're definitely going to use it if you live in the US, and you're never going to learn this from textbooks.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, like pull over. I know it means to stop on the side of the road, but how exactly do you use it?
Pull over is super useful. It means you drive your car to the side of the road and stop. Like if a cop wants to pull you over for a traffic stop, he'll turn on his lights and sirens, and you have to pull over. Or if your friend is sitting next to you and says, I need to use the bathroom, can you pull over? That means I gotta pee, can you stop on the side of the road?
What if I'm the one telling someone else to pull over?
You just say pull over, like, hey, pull over here, I see a parking spot. Or if it's more urgent, you can say pull over now. That sounds more intense. There's also pull up, which means move the car forward a little bit. Like at a drive-thru, the worker might say, can you pull up a little bit? That means move forward.
Right. I hear that all the time at the Starbucks drive-thru. What about cut off? You mentioned that earlier. What does it mean?
Cut off is super important. It means someone suddenly moves in front of you, usually in a dangerous way. Like you're driving on the highway and suddenly a car from the lane next to you cuts over and gets really close to you. That's called cutting you off. You can say, hey, that car just cut me off. Or if you want to yell at the driver directly, you can say, you cut me off. It's a really common complaint.
So if I wanted to say something back to that guy who flipped me off, could I have said, you cut me off?
You could, but that situation wasn't really a cut-off because he passed you from behind, not cut in front of you. If you wanted to be more accurate, you could say, why are you honking at me? Or stop honking at me. Or you could say, what's your problem? That's pretty direct. It's like asking, what's wrong with you?
What's your problem? That sounds kind of confrontational.
Yeah, it is. So you gotta read the situation. If the other person looks really aggressive or worked up, I'd say don't say anything, because you never know what they might do. Road rage in the US can get really serious. Some people even pull out guns, so safety first.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind then. I'll just keep driving. Let's talk about some other driving terms, like tailgate. I've heard this before, but I'm not totally sure what it means.
Tailgate is super common. It means the car behind you is following too close, like they're almost touching your bumper. The distance is way too small. This is really dangerous and annoying in the US, because if you suddenly need to brake, the car behind you might crash into you. So if someone's tailgating you, you can say, that car is tailgating me, or he's tailgating me. If you want to yell at the driver directly, you can say, stop tailgating me, or you're too close.
What if I want to pass someone? What's the English for that?
Passing has a few different ways to say it. The most common is pass, like I need to pass this slow car or I'm going to pass you. There's also overtake, which is more formal, but pass is more conversational and common. Another related word is merge, which means to move into traffic. Like on the highway, when you're getting on from the on-ramp, you merge into traffic. That's important too.
Merge. I see that on road signs all the time. What about changing lanes?
Changing lanes is change lanes or switch lanes. Like, I need to change lanes, or can you move to the left lane? Another really important term is blind spot. That's the area you can't see in your mirrors. So before you change lanes, you always got to check your blind spot. Otherwise, you might hit a car next to you.
Right, my driving instructor really emphasized that. What about brake and accelerate?
Brake is the word for stopping. It can be a verb or a noun, like hit the brakes or step on the brake. Accelerate is the formal word for speeding up, but most people just say gas it because the gas pedal is what you press. So gas it means step on the gas. Like, come on, gas it, we're gonna miss the light.
Miss the light. Does that mean missing the green light?
Exactly. It means you're going too slow so you don't make it through the green light, and then you gotta wait for the next cycle. This is another thing that makes Americans impatient. They really hate waiting at lights. So if you're too slow when the light turns green, the car behind you might honk. There's also run a red light, which means going through a red light. That's super dangerous and illegal. If you get caught, you'll get a ticket.
A ticket is like a fine, right?
Yep. If a cop gives you a ticket, you can say, I got a ticket, or I got pulled over and got a ticket. Pulled over means the cop stopped you. There's also speeding ticket, which is for going over the speed limit. That's the most common type of ticket.
Okay, let's talk about giving directions because that's super useful too. Like, turn right at the light. I hear that all the time.
Yeah, giving directions is huge in the US, especially if someone's riding in your car and you don't know where you're going, they'll keep giving you directions. Turn right at the light means make a right turn at the traffic light. If it's a left turn, you say turn left at the light. If you're going straight, you say go straight or keep going straight.
What if you want to say turn at a specific intersection?
You can say turn right at the corner or turn at the next intersection. You can also use landmarks like turn right after the gas station or turn left before the McDonald's. This is really common in the US because sometimes street names are hard to remember.
Right, using landmarks is way easier. What about making a U-turn?
A U-turn is make a U-turn, like make a U-turn at the next light, or you can make a U-turn here. But you gotta be careful because not every place allows U-turns. Some intersections have no U-turn signs. If you make an illegal U-turn, you can get a ticket.
What about take a left or take a right? Is that different from turn left or turn right?
They basically mean the same thing. Take a left is just turn left. Take a right is turn right. Americans use both, like take a left at the next street, or take the second right, which means turn right at the second intersection. That's pretty common too.
What about on the highway, like when you need to change to a different freeway or take an exit?
Highway exits are called exits, like take exit 23 or get off at exit 23. Both mean you're getting off the highway at exit 23. If you're getting on the highway, you say get on the freeway or merge onto the freeway. Freeway is what we call highways. Some places also say highway or interstate.
Interstate. I've seen that on road signs. What if you want to say stay in a certain lane?
You can say stay in the left lane or keep to the right lane. Like keep to the right lane for the next 2 miles means stay in the right lane for the next 2 miles. There's also the passing lane, which is usually the far left lane. That lane is for people who want to pass. If you're going slow and hogging the passing lane, people behind you are going to get annoyed.
Oh, that's why sometimes when I'm in the left lane, cars behind me keep flashing their lights. They want me to move over.
Exactly. Flashing lights means move over. It's basic driving etiquette in the US. If someone wants to pass, you gotta let them. Otherwise, it's pretty rude.
Okay, let's do a role play. I'll be the driver, and Leo, you're my friend in the passenger seat. You're going to tell me how to get to your house.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Mia, so when you get to the end of this street, you're going to turn right at the light.
turn right at the light. Got it.
Yeah, and then go straight for about 2 blocks. You'll see a Starbucks on your left.
Okay, I see it.
All right, so right after the Starbucks, take a left onto Maple Street.
Take a left onto Maple Street. Wait, should I get in the left lane now?
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, move to the left lane, and then it's the second light. You're going to turn left there.
Second light, turn left. Okay.
Perfect. And then my house is about halfway down the street on the right side. You can pull over right in front of the house.
Got it. Pull over in front of your house.
Exactly. See, that wasn't so hard, right?
That was actually really helpful. I feel like if someone actually said that to me, I could follow it.
Right. So the key is just practice. And it's best to practice in real situations. That's how you actually remember. When I first came to the US, I couldn't understand directions either, but I just drove more and listened more, and eventually it just clicked.
Okay, let's do another role play. This time, a more intense one. Like if we actually run into a road rage situation. What should we say in English?
All right, so this time I'll be the angry driver, and you're the one getting honked at. We'll act it out, but remember, this is just practice. In real life, it's better not to engage with people like that.
Got it. Let's start.
Hey, what are you doing? You've been sitting at that stop sign for like 5 seconds. Learn to drive.
Excuse me? I did stop. I was just checking if it's safe.
Safe? There's no one here. You're wasting everyone's time.
Look, I'm sorry if I was going slow, but there's no need to honk like that. It's really aggressive.
Well, maybe if you knew how to drive, I wouldn't have to honk.
You know what? I'm just gonna go. Have a nice day.
Okay, stop. Let's pause there. Your response was actually really good.
Really? I felt like I was being too nice.
No, you weren't. In this kind of situation, staying calm is the most important thing. When you said, "Excuse me, I did stop. I was just checking if it's safe," that was you explaining your actions. Then you said, "There's no need to honk like that. It's really aggressive." That was pointing out that his behavior was inappropriate. And at the end you said, "I'm just gonna go, have a nice day." That was smart because you chose not to keep arguing.
But what if he keeps yelling at me?
Then you just completely ignore him. Seriously, don't engage, because you don't know what that person might do. Some people really lose it, so the safest thing to do is just drive away. If they keep following you, you can drive to a police station or drive to a public place. Just don't lead them to your house.
Oh my God, that sounds scary.
It is, so you really gotta be careful when driving, not just with your driving skills, but also with other people's emotions. That's why I keep saying don't do things that piss people off, like going too slow in the passing lane, or suddenly cutting people off. Those things can easily trigger road rage.
What if I want to politely remind someone? Like if someone's going too slow or they forgot to use their turn signal?
If you really need to remind them, you can give a quick little beep. Just one short honk, don't hold it down. Holding it down is aggressive. Or if you're in the lane next to them, you can roll down your window and wave, signal to them to pay attention. But honestly, most of the time, it's better to just mind your own business. Because if you try to remind them, they might get mad anyway.
Right. What's the English word for turn signal anyway?
Turn signal, or blinker, like use your turn signal, or put your blinker on. If someone doesn't use their blinker, you can say he didn't use his blinker, or she changed lanes without signaling.
Let's talk about parking, because that's super practical too.
Sure, a parking lot is where you park your car, or if it's an indoor structure, it's a parking garage. A parking spot or parking space is where you actually park, like I found a parking spot, or there's a space over there.
What about street parking?
Street parking is parking on the street, or parallel parking. Parallel parking is when you have to park parallel to the curb. A lot of people think it's hard. If you're looking for parking, you can say, "I'm looking for parking," or "I'm trying to find a spot."
What about parking meters? Those things where you put coins.
That's a parking meter. Like, do I need to feed the meter? Feed means put money in. Or the meter expired means the time ran out. If you park illegally, you'll get a parking ticket. Same as a speeding ticket, it's a fine.
What about backing up?
Backing up or reverse. Like, I need to back up a little bit or put the car in reverse. Reverse can be a noun too. It's the gear for going backwards. There's also backup camera, which is super helpful. A lot of cars have them now.
Yeah, my car has one. It's amazing. What about different parts of the car, like mirrors and hood and stuff?
There are two kinds of mirrors. Rear view mirror is the one in the middle inside the car. Side mirrors are the ones on the outside. The hood is the front part that covers the engine. The trunk is the back storage area. Windshield is the front window.
What about windshield wipers?
Windshield wipers or just wipers, like turn on the wipers or the wipers aren't working. Headlights are the lights in front. Tail lights are the lights in back.
What if your car breaks down, like if you get a flat tire or the engine dies?
A flat tire or blowout, like I have a flat tire or my tire went flat. If the engine dies, you say the engine died or my car broke down. Broke down means your car stopped working.
What if you need a tow truck?
A tow truck is what tows your car. You can say, I need to call a tow truck or my car got towed. Got towed usually means your car was towed away because you parked illegally. If that happens, you gotta go to the impound lot to get it back, and you gotta pay a bunch of money.
Oh man, that sounds like a hassle. What about getting gas?
Getting gas or fill up, like I need to get gas or let's fill up before we hit the road. Hit the road means start driving. Gas station is where you get gas. Gas tank is where the gas goes.
What about different types of gas?
In the US, there's usually 3 types. Regular is the normal kind, premium is the fancy, expensive kind, and mid-grade is in between. Most people use regular unless your car needs premium. When you're filling up, you can say, fill it up with regular, or just put in $20.
Okay, I think we covered so much today, from how long to stop at a stop sign, to all these driving expressions, to how to deal with road rage.
Yeah, and this is all stuff you're never gonna learn from a textbook. It's real life stuff. I think the key takeaways are, first, you gotta do a complete stop at stop signs, but you don't need to stop for a long time. Second, Americans drive with efficiency in mind, so don't go too slow. Third, if you run into road rage, don't engage, just stay calm. Fourth, learn those core driving terms like pull over, cut off, tailgate.
And also remember to use your turn signal. Check your blind spot, don't hog the passing lane. Those are all basic etiquette.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, Mia, have you gotten honked at again since that incident?
Yeah, I have, but now I get it better. At stop signs, I just stop quick, check for safety, and go. I don't stop too long. And if someone honks at me, I just assume they're having a bad day. I don't take it personally.
That's perfect. And now you know what you can say if you really need to, right?
Yeah, although I'm hoping I never have to use it.
Yeah, hopefully you won't. Okay, let's do a quick review of the key words and phrases we learned today. First, the stop sign rule. Complete stop is important. Then, honk, which is to use the horn. Cut off is when someone suddenly gets in front of you. Tailgate is following too close. Pull over is to stop on the side.
And turn right at the light, make a U-turn, get on the freeway, take exit 23, merge into traffic.
Right. And road rage. Flip someone off, which is super rude. Don't do it. Windshield, wipers, headlights.
Flat tire, broke down, tow truck, gas station, fill up. Parking lot, parking meter.
And some useful sentences like, what's your problem? Stop honking at me. You cut me off. You're tailgating me. Can you pull over here? Turn right at the next light.
I need to change lanes. Check your blind spot. Use your turn signal. Move to the left lane. Get off at exit 23.
Exactly. These are all super practical. I'd say listen to this episode a few times and try to imagine these scenarios in your head. Maybe even practice saying these sentences out loud. That way, when you actually need them, you won't freeze up.
Right, and I think driving is actually a great opportunity to practice English because you're going to run into all kinds of situations. You're going to hear directions, you're going to need to communicate. So if you're driving in the US, really take advantage of that to learn.
Absolutely. And when you're driving, you can listen to podcasts or audiobooks. That's also a great way to learn. Speaking of podcasts, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, subscribing is so important because then you won't miss our new content. Every week, we share the most practical American English expressions, the kind you actually use in real life, not that stiff textbook English.
And if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, just let us know in the comments. We read all of them. Actually, this episode came about because a lot of listeners said they have trouble driving in the US, so we made this topic.
Right, so don't be shy. If there's anything you want to learn or know about, just tell us. We'll do our best to help. And remember to share this episode with your friends who are also learning English, especially people who drive in the US or are planning to. They'll definitely find it helpful.
Yeah, sharing is so important because this isn't just about language, it's about culture and safety too. If your friends don't know these unwritten rules, they might run into the same situation as Mia, getting honked at, getting flipped off, and not knowing how to respond.
Exactly. So please help us share this. Let more people know this important stuff.
All right, let's do a quick Q&A. Just answer some questions people might have. Mia, what do you think new drivers in the US need to pay attention to most?
I think the most important thing is understanding the traffic rules, especially the ones that are different from your home country, like stop sign rules, turning right on red. You gotta figure those out first. And then you gotta have confidence. Don't be scared to drive just because your English isn't perfect. Honestly, the English you need for driving is pretty limited. You just gotta practice.
Right. And also observe how other people drive. Watch their speed, their behavior, and try to fit into that flow. Don't go too fast or too slow, just keep up with everyone else.
What about you, Leo? What advice would you give to people who just started driving in the US?
I think safety first is the most important. Don't panic just because someone's rushing you from behind. It's okay to go a little slower. The key is being safe. And get familiar with your car. Know where all the buttons are, how to turn on the wipers, how to turn on the lights. Figure all that out before you hit the road. Don't wait until you're driving to look for stuff.
Right, and GPS is super important. Nowadays, everyone uses Google Maps or Apple Maps. They have voice navigation that can help you a ton. And you can also learn those direction phrases while you're at it.
Exactly. GPS is a lifesaver, especially in unfamiliar areas. But don't rely on it completely. Sometimes it takes you on weird routes, so you still gotta pay attention to the road yourself.
Right. Okay, I think that's it for today. We covered so much. Hopefully everyone learned something useful.
Yeah, and one last reminder, if this episode helped you, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends.
And tell us in the comments if you've had similar driving experiences or what kind of scenarios you want to learn English for. We'll make content based on what you guys want.
Right. We read all your comments, and who knows, maybe the next episode will be exactly what you asked for.
All right, so we'll see you next time. Remember to keep practicing those words and phrases we learned today. Next time you're driving, you can actually use them.
Right. Keep practicing and stay safe on the road. See you next time.
See you next time on English Tea. Bye.
Bye, everyone.